Well, guess what? It's that time again. It's time for the tarot. Time for our weekly tarot blog here on the 25th of August of 2010. And we've drawn 3 cards. I'm sitting here with my good friend and associate, Marissa Cohen.
Woohoo! Hi.
Yay.
Good to be here as always.
That's right. We're shooting a little earlier this week because I'm not going to be available at the end of this week. So we've got to go ahead and take care of this now on Wednesday, the 25th of August. So the first card is the last card of the previous week's reading, and that card is the Chariot. Very auspicious card, a card of the true will, of uniting force and form, of bringing our wills into manifestation. See, he's in control. He's controlling the opposing forces of light and darkness, of balance and imbalance, and he is taking control. So we're coming through a period where we have had to be strong, had to stay in touch with our feelings. Cancer is a feeling sign, which is what this represents, ruled by the moon. So we're dealing with tides, changes, and fluctuations, but asserting our will over them. Right, Marissa?
Absolutely. And what's interesting about this is, as of yesterday, we went to the moon in Pisces, which very much supports fluctuations, feelings that are changing, things that feel a little bit unstable and that are constantly shifting. So that ties in with this a little bit as well.
Very good. And
also in dealing with the Chariot, you're also dealing with, I always see it as also as like a sense of balance, of balancing your will, which also fits because right now we have Mars in Libra. So balancing of your will, balancing it against other forces. So as always, very, very much in tune with what's happening astrologically.
This is true. This is true. It's amazing how these things come up. Let's take a look at the next one. The next one is the High Priestess. Now, she's attributed to the moon itself, okay, the planetary energy of Luna, and she is, of course, the goddess Isis, the lady of all things, the lady of 10,000 names, lady of all possibilities. So we're going to have a lot of things opening up for us. And we're going to find that maybe hidden things are going to be revealed. Our deeper emotions, for one thing, may start coming out. Things may start to bubble forth that we didn't realize, and we learn more about ourselves and more about the people around us, which is even more interesting.
And again, I think this also corresponds to what's happening with the moon right now. Because the full moon in Pisces will bring forth things that haven't necessarily been tapped into.
Okay.
And will also just, it'll bubble forth with imagination and new ideas and things that are really coming from just your depths. And in the face of what we're doing right now with the sun in Virgo, the moon is now opposite it. So it's going to feel a little bit confusing and a little bit slightly off track. You may feel like you've been knocked off track by the power of your emotions because everything that's happened up to this point is pretty earthy and solid and fairly stable. So. That's
right. Plus we're in Mercury retrograde.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So we covered that extensively last week. We're not going to go into all that this week. If you want to learn more, look at last week's video, okay, or read my email that I sent out if you didn't read it, okay, and you'll get more about Mercury retrograde. But what we're coming into, we got to be careful with all these possibilities, and all this change is getting in over our heads and taking on more than what we can comfortably handle. That is the energy of the Ten of Wands, exemplified by this gentleman with 10 big huge sticks on his back. It's attributed to Saturn in Sagittarius. Saturn is a planet of restriction and manifestation. Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, wants to explore. So it's kind of a tension between exploring and being bound to a particular place or particular framework.
And the interesting thing also about Sagittarius is that, as you said, it's about exploring, it's about getting bigger. But in this case, I feel like it's also about being pulled back a little bit by the astrological range that are going on right now. You're going to want to sort of move slowly, stay close to your original plan, not full steam ahead. You're going to want to balance yourself out a little more.
Yes, it is easy to get in over your head. Just take on more than what you can handle. I do that all the time.
Especially with Mercury in retrograde right now. You kind of want to...
Yeah, the judgment can be a bit impeded, and that's not always a healthy thing.
Exactly.
Well, if they need help with judgment and wisdom, how do they contact you, Marissa?
You can go to www.happyganesh.net or happyganesh.com. Either one will bring you to my website. You can find me here at the store, and you can call me at 954-854-0270 for information about astrology readings or mediumship work.
Outstanding. And to get a hold of me, you can find me on my website, www.bobdecker.net. That is all my contact info, the phone number, the email addresses, all the stuff is there, and lots of free things for you to enjoy, as well as my web store. Well, listen, it's a pleasure doing this for you. We always enjoy it, and we hope you enjoy it too. Until we meet you again, many, many blessings.